Well, that's the last Preds fan reaction video until at least after Christmas. Whatever are we gonna do with all this free time? Well, I'm up for rewatching the 2017 Cup run if you are. Okay, but we don't watch Game 6 versus Pittsburgh. I totally agree with you. Completely on board. Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the Chicago Blackhawks by a score of 3-2 in overtime in the United Center Friday night in Chicago, Illinois. Impressively, while dealing with COVID on this roster that has seemed to have reached a breaking point, well, including Friday night's game, this team has now won 7 in a row and 8 of their last 10. Prior to this win streak, this team has 3 previous 7-game win streaks or more, the last one being on March 2nd, 2018, in the middle of the 2017-2018 season, when they would go on to reach their franchise high of a 10-game winning streak on the way to the President's Trophy winning season of that year. I don't know if this season's squad is going to reach the same success as that season's squad did, but I'll tell you something, maybe because it's newer, this team is much more fun to watch. Like Jersey Guy and I said in the intro, this is the last Preds fan reaction video until at least Christmas, but we'll cover more of that in the game summary. This is the Preds' final visit to the United Center, at least in the regular season, not including the playoffs, as they lost their previous matchup there this season in overtime, and the last 2 meetings between these two teams this season will be back in Nashville in Bridgestone. Mark Borieski joins the already growing list of Preds players who have tested positive for COVID, and because he's out, Cole Sherwood would make his debut as a member of the Nashville Predators, and a number that he would wear, I'll add this as a tease, will contribute to a future Preds video that I will make. Date to be determined. Preds have some jump early as Colton Sissons, who was named assistant captain prior to this game for the first time in his NHL career, hits the post 30 seconds in behind Marc-Andre Fleury. Philip Kurashev for the Blackhawks has a grade A scoring chance about a minute after Sissons' chance, but he can't beat Saros. Rocco Grimaldi, so desperate not to be sent down to Milwaukee again once everyone recovers from COVID, steals the puck from Fleury, but soon after that, Fleury covers up and makes up for his boneheaded mistake. Eeli Tolvanen would take the first penalty of the game for either team on a hooking call on McKenzie and Whistle. And if there's one area of the Preds game, most of it seeming to be pretty good, one area of it that they need to fix, it's the penalty kill. Well, ask and you shall receive in this game. The Preds would kill off that first penalty, and then about 7 minutes in, a solid odd man rush by the Blackhawks into the Preds zone, but Saros is up to the task. He's feeling on his game tonight. Yakov Trenin, who has been a pesky bugger for opposition teams as of late, draws the first penalty on Connor Murphy. Alexander Carrier from the left wing board passes across to a wide open, a man who has tried so long, so very hard this season, number 26, Tommy Novak, oh my god, shoots it, roofs it past Fleury, his first NHL goal on the power play, gives the Preds the lead, 1-0. 2 minutes later though, puck deep in the Preds zone, and Kirby Dach to Saros' right can see that Saros is not hugging the post properly. He flips the puck on net, it banks in off of Saros' right pad and into the net. Blackhawks tie the game at 1. And that's how the period would end. In the second period, the Preds would get called as Mattias Ekholm got caught slashing Patrick Kane, but the Preds killed that off, each penalty kill in this game, seeming to give the Preds some momentum. Preds with some solid chances after the Ekholm penalty kill on Patrick Kane, including Ekholm himself with a 2-on-1 chance, but they can't beat Fleury. And right after that, new boy to the Preds lineup, Cole Sherwood, has a solid chance to make it 2-1 Preds, but Fleury makes the save. Just about 4.5 minutes into the second period, Rocco Grimaldi and Jake McCabe of the Blackhawks get into a little bit of a tie-up, and the refs blow the whistle. Okay, why would I mention a tie-up between two players? Because at the time, if you were watching this game live, like I was, you probably thought that both players would go off for a penalty each for 4-on-4, but they only called Rocco for interference. What the F? But all would be okay because about 40 seconds later, Patrick Kane would get called for hooking Colton Sissons, and the two teams would play 4-on-4 for about a minute and a half. Both penalties killed off. Soon after, Tanner JeannOT with a great lob pass to him, but he can't time it just right, so he can't get control of it before Fleury kind of meets him to deflect the puck away, but that's not the last time we would hear from Tanner in this game. Just over 12 minutes into the second period, and the Preds have an odd man rush. Can't beat Fleury. Hungry Cole Sherwood is making his presence known, and even though he didn't get on the scoreboard, he had a couple chances again to try and give the Preds back the lead. Again, the Preds penalty kill showed up in strides as Philip Myers got called late in the second period for hooking Patrick Kane, but the Preds penalty kill showed up and they killed off another Blackhawks penalty. Game still tied at 1 after 2. Both teams with some solid chances to try and get the lead in the third period, including 3 minutes into the third period with Forsberg getting a solid chance to beat Fleury, but he can't. The rebound comes right to Colton Sissons, and he's eager to give the Preds back the lead, but Fleury's there to rob him too. Connor Murphy of the Blackhawks would hook Tanner JeannOT. And even though the Preds couldn't convert on that power play, they are getting a lot of shots. They are wearing down this Blackhawks defense and tiring out Marc-Andre Fleury. Could they finally put one past him? Well, due to offensive pressure by the Preds in the Blackhawks zone, Eric Gustafsson of the Blackhawks would get called for delay of game of knocking the puck over the glass. Preds are keeping the puck in the Blackhawks zone for the majority of this power play. And the Blackhawks aren't really putting any pressure on the Preds, so the Preds are content to pass it around, waiting for the right shot. And at one point, Roman Josi's stick breaks, but the Preds retain possession, aren't forced to clear it out. And Roman Josi's like, I'll be right back. Races to the bench, gets a new stick from Pete Rogers, Preds equipment manager, and comes back into the zone. The puck is still in the zone as Philip Forsberg has the puck. Roman Josi is there to make sure if the puck comes back to him that it doesn't leave the zone. But he's not even involved in the scoring. He doesn't get the goal, doesn't get an assist. But he's a nice distraction to be there as Philip Forsberg collapses on the net, draws the pressure to him, passes it over to a wide open Colton Sissons, who snaps the shot. Fleury makes one of his desperation body heaves to try and stop the puck. He can't do it. The puck is in the net. The Preds are back in front 2-1. But again, the Preds can't hang on to a lead as with just over 6 minutes left to go in regulation, puck in the Preds zone, off of a face-off win. Stillman gets it across to a wide open. Why are you leaving him that wide open? I don't care what age he is. Jonathan Toews, who is untouched enough to bang it home off a one-timer past Saros, tying the game at 2. With just under 3 minutes left to go in regulation, I think it was about 2:57 left, Tanner JeannOT takes a dumb tripping penalty on Dominik Kubalik, who maybe Tanner thought that he would get away with it. Again, he'll make up for it, believe you me. And I'm sure a lot of Preds nations thought, thinking of games gone past, that in this situation, the Preds would probably lose it because all the momentum was draining. The Blackhawks were getting pumped. But amazingly, this being the 5th penalty the Preds would take in this game, and they would kill off every single one of them. I can't say enough. Props to the Preds penalty kill for a 5-for-5 performance on the kill. And with the remaining seconds in regulation, neither team would score, tied 2-2 after regulation. In overtime, it wouldn't take very long to decide this one. After a solid chance by the Blackhawks in the Preds zone, the puck goes the other way. Roman Josi has it in a neutral zone. And unbeknownst to him, maybe at the time, or maybe he had eyes in the back of his head and could see it, it was a weak Blackhawks line change because it ends up being a 2-on-1 because Josi can sense Tanner JeannOT powering ahead from behind him, so he passes it over to 7anner JeannOT as he's driving in towards the net, being pushed from behind by a Blackhawks defender, and Fleury trying to scramble to keep it out of the net, but he gets it in, falls backwards. Preds win in overtime 3-2. They have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. What can you say? This team continues to impress us all, Preds Nation. It would have been totally understandable to some of us in Preds Nation if this team would have had a loss against a much hungrier at-home Blackhawks team, our main division rival, with this depleted lineup we are experiencing right now. But this team is hungry right now and doesn't like being disrespected or disregarded by the experts. So they rallied together in a classic Preds road victory, killing off every single one of the Blackhawks penalties and improving their red-hot road power play. During this active win streak of theirs, they won a horn-beating victory in Long Island and won measuring stick games against Colorado and the Rangers. Before this morning's announcement, I was going to say, can they do it again against a team that eliminated them from the playoffs last season, but we're going to have to wait for that. But you know that when that game comes to fruition, they're probably going to make another banner joke out of us. Like Jersey Guy and I mentioned in the intro, there is no more Preds hockey until at least Christmas. There's the Sens game that hasn't been made up as of yet, the Flames game from last week that hasn't been made up yet, the Panthers game this coming Thursday was already postponed, and now as for the Preds schedule, tomorrow's Hurricanes game is postponed, and the game against the Jets on Tuesday. If you want my opinion, regardless of political opinion about the upcoming Winter Olympics, I can't honestly see the players wanting to go with the 3-week quarantine if they test positive over there and no financial reimbursement from the league for lost salary as their teams will continue to play after the Winter Olympic break is over. I honestly don't think the NHL should go to the Winter Olympics this time, and during that break they should try to use arena availability and make up for these lost games. Feel free to tell me in the comments or on social media what you think should happen to the postponed games to make up for them not being played previous. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Predemption. And I guess the only thing left to ask, regardless of when the next game is played, do I hear 8?